if he does good, if he gets the Israeli hostages out, I promise I will wear a MAGA hat for one day on the show and say, thank you for doing it. Yeah. She'll knock it right off my head. But like, you have to be able to cheer for wins when they happen and then call out relentlessly the wrongdoing.
Well,
if you put in discount code SEAL20, get 20% off. If you're a part of the Tatum Squad, obviously we sent in the community tab a greater discount, and we'll continue to give special things to the people that are a part of the Tatum Squad. If you want to join the Tatum Squad, you can join it today. Obviously, there's 2 tiers. We updated the tiers on Tatum Squad, so take a look at that. But here's some of our brand new merch. We got some of these products here. All right, my favorite shirt is the Trump dance. We got a whole bunch of stuff, hats, all of the above. We have it. Now, the doormat is my absolute favorite. We sold out of this within 30 minutes. However, if you want the doormat, we're producing them right now as we speak, and you hit notify me when made available. If you get to this, to notify. There's nearly 1,000 people that have hit notify when made available. I'm telling you right now, when we make it active, we don't have 1,000. So we're going to have a small amount that we can do at a time, so we don't have a big backstock of thousands of these things, and then people ain't getting them for months. All right, so if you go down here, you'll see the section where the Los Angeles ruled by Democrats. You'll see this, and it says 100% of the profits donated to victims and fire departments affected by this Los Angeles crisis. So you can go on and click on this, buy as much as you want, as much as you can. All the proceeds will go. I'll let you guys know in the community tab how much money we have as proceeds from that product, and then I'm gonna let you know where we're gonna disperse it. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to another Officer Tatum show. Breaking news, Donald Trump has done it again. I think this is probably the most consequential thing that a president could do. Let me put my hat on. The most consequential thing that a president can do, in part, is to end a war. This is could be the end of the war in Israel against Hamas. There's a ceasefire deal on the table. Hamas has agreed to it, and we know they shady as a mud. So I take that with a grain of salt. But allegedly, Donald Trump has been able to negotiate to get our hostages back. Now, Joe Sleepy, half one foot in the grave Biden, is going to try to take credit for it because his administration is in power right now for the next, couple days. But Donald Trump said this unequivocally. If you don't give the hostages back by the time I'm sworn in, there's going to be hell to pay. And Donald Trump literally has a few days before he's sworn in, and they decided to make a business decision because Donald Trump is going to do what he said he's going to do. Now, let's play the clip of what Donald Trump said a week ago, right? Is that what this is? A clip that Donald Trump said a week ago. Roll the clip.
If those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is.
Why can't every politician say this? Why can't Joe Biden come out and say,
meanwhile,
thank you.
Folks, credit for this, Mr. President, you or Trump?
Is that a joke? Oh, thank you.
When it comes to the involvement of President-elect Trump's team, it has been absolutely critical in getting this deal over the line. And it's been critical because, obviously, as I stand here today, this administration's term in office will expire in 5 days. And one of the things that we have always said about this deal is that when you get from stage 1 to stage 2, that the United States, Egypt, and Qatar are the guarantors of this deal. And Egypt and Qatar will push Hamas to stay at the bargaining table and to get from stage 1 to stage 2, and the United States will push Israel to stay at the bargaining table to get from phase 1 and phase 2. So obviously those are promises we cannot make on behalf of the United States for any longer than the next 5 days. And so it's critical that all of the parties to the agreement and the other mediators see that when the United States is in the room making commitments, those are lasting commitments that extend beyond this administration into the next one. I will just say, lastly, I don't know if it's unprecedented to have envoys from an outgoing and an incoming administration sitting at the same table negotiating a ceasefire agreement of this kind. But if it's not unprecedented, it's certainly unusual. And We, of course, thank the Trump team for working with on this ceasefire agreement. We think it's important that they were at the table.
If I was the president, I would be just as I would be more more vulgar than what he just did. I think what he said was great. I think it was very presidential. If I was the president, I'd say, you know what, man? There's going to be a lot of flower bringing and song singing if y'all don't get these hostages back over here immediately. I don't know if you guys have enough grave sites. I don't know if you have enough rubble. I don't know if y'all going to be able to move that rubble out of the way. You will not repair your country centuries to come. I will make sure that every single person who is in favor of, supports, or whatever that is in Gaza and you support Hamas, you're gonna meet them virgins real quick. You better get it together. That's what I would have said. Let's go to Fox News clip real quick. Roll the clip.
It has now been confirmed here at Fox News. A ceasefire deal has been reached between Israel and Hamas after 15 months of war and the taking of those hostages, many from different countries, but certainly America on that list. The hostages are in part of this agreement. Let's go straight away to Trey Yinks, who is live for us in Tel Aviv. Trey?
Yeah, Harris, this is breaking news right now. According to a source familiar with the ongoing talks, a ceasefire deal has been reached between Israel and Hamas. I do want to just read to you what this source just sent. Quote, Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal reached following the Qataris meeting with Hamas negotiators for a final push following last-minute additions by the group. There were some reports that indicated Hamas officials were trying to push the Israelis to change their position about a key corridor that sits along the Gaza-Egypt border called the Philadelphia Corridor. Now, I am told that the Qatari Prime Minister himself was in the negotiating room and pushed these Hamas officials to accept the agreement on the table. What we are looking at here that will be signed tonight, a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas that will implement a pause in fighting between the two sides for 42 days. This is a 6-week agreement that will ultimately see 33 hostages released from Hamas captivity in Gaza. We are told by a number of sources some of those hostages were killed and their bodies will be returned to Israel, but at least 23 of them are believed to be alive.
Now, let me give my commentary. I would like to believe, which I think is a good thing, right? It's starting out as a good, I don't know if it's in good faith or not, but it's starting out with the appearance of a good faith ceasefire. But there is no real ceasefire, right? Can we agree to this? Like, Israel can't just stop now, right? You killed hostages. Like, what do we do about that? You get to take hostages, 100 and some hostages, and you get to kill three quarters of them, and then you bring the other ones back maimed and traumatically damaged forever. And that's supposed to be, oh, we got we've made amends. We're not gonna continue to attack you because you gave some of our hostages back who are probably maimed. Nah, I don't see it that way. I see temporarily, maybe they can slow down a little bit, re-get the military equipment, find some better tactics, because I don't trust Hamas. I don't trust that Hamas is going to follow through with what they said. And what's going to happen, and we all know this is going to happen to some degree, potentially, is that Hamas is going to violate, and then Israel's going to respond, and then they're going to blame Israel. Israel's killing kids and doing all this other stuff. This is what they're going to say. They are going to say that about Israel because there are some people that hate Israel. They hate the mere existence of Israel. They secretly hate Jews. And so it ain't nothing they're going to do right. They are going to hate them until the day that Jesus Christ comes back. I'm not one of them people. You know, I have a lot of respect for Jews. I think the Jews should have their own state and their own autonomy. That's their land that they had from the very beginning, in my opinion. I mean, not my opinion about the land, in my opinion that should be held as a factor in them being able to return back to Israel. And look at what they've done to Israel. Israel's beautiful. I went there. They rebuilt it, highways, innovated. I mean, I don't know about Tel Aviv. I've never been to Tel Aviv, but when you talk about the old city of Jerusalem and different things like that, it looked like they've done a pretty good job with that. And then you go to the West Bank and it's like the hood over here. What are y'all doing over here? Y'all not taking care of none of your stuff. But over here in Israel, the Jews are taking care of their stuff and it's clean. So anyway, I think that Donald Trump is doing a good work. And some people may say it wasn't Trump, it was the Qatari president or whatever. No, they were talking about Trump in that meeting. They say, look, bro, I'm telling you, Donald Trump ain't got it all, man. He's 78 years old. He on the last leg of the relay. he will go out with a bang. Do you really want to see this happen? So you better start doing right and getting to the bottom of this discussion, because Donald Trump is about to be the president in a few days, and it's going to be grass. I don't know why you think he playing. Do he look like he playing? I don't think he playing. You see what happened to Soleimani? Turned him into ground beef on the side of the road. I don't think Trump playing. And they go, okay, Allah Akbar. They did their little thing. Signed it off. You know, I make fun of the Allah Akbar stuff because y'all done messed it up. Allah Akbar wouldn't be a bad word if y'all wasn't saying and blowing up stuff. And I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying the ones who do it. Y'all can't. You say they say Allah Akbar everything they do, blowing up, kidnapping people, stealing hostages, and raping people and all kind of stuff. I saw them Allah Akbar when they had the Jews. They running over to Gaza, putting them up in caves and stuff. Don't get mad at me. Y'all don't want to mess that word up. So every time somebody hear Allah Akbar, they either dodging or looking and wondering what's gonna happen. Y'all messed that up. Y'all messed up the word Allah too, because Allah just simply means God. But y'all gotta add that extra stuff and be doing all that crazy stuff. And now people don't see that God when you say it. They see all that crazy stuff y'all be doing. Just be honest, man. Look, you gotta be held to account. When people look at me crazy because other black people be cutting up, I can't get mad. Black people be cutting up. So sometimes they got to see if I'm like them or not. And I get it. Yeah, let's have Scott Jennings clip play. Roll.
I do think that all sides agree that Trump's hand in this has made a difference one way or another.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with Trump. He's been perfectly clear. He has not vacillated about his message that if they don't send our people back, there's going to be hell to pay. And thank God he has been on that message and he has not wavered from it. He's not stepped back from it. And I don't really care, candidly, who the president is when all this happens. I just want him back. I mean, I've worn this yellow ribbon out here every night for over a year because I think there's so many families who are just devastated. They're hurting. They don't know what the situation is. And we need this to come to an end. There are Americans involved here. Look, I think we're going to end up paying a very heavy price in this deal. I'm sure some terrorists are probably going to wind up being let out of jails. I don't particularly like that. But to settle this, to get peace and to get our people back, I think it took Trump winning the election and being clear-eyed about it to make it happen.
Scott,
if you were Iran or any terrorist with any level of responsibility, what you have witnessed is that the Biden administration has tried to, at various points, put shackles on Israel. You can say they've been strong on it, but they have at times tried to put rhetorical and military shackles on Israel. There is no expectation that Trump would put shackles on anybody, and there is some expectation that he might just get involved himself if they don't send our people back. So I do think this was the essential element to getting this over the finish line, and I hope it happens right now. A great nation, a superpower, does not permit its people to be held and treated like this for as long as we have. I don't think Donald Trump wants to be taking over a country that was willing to permit that kind of behavior by these thugs and terrorists. And so I think that's why he was clear-eyed in his statements, and I think that's why they're responding.
All right,
This dude should win a Nobel Peace Prize for being on CNN cutting these people up every day. I love Scott Jennings, man. I'm gonna fly him out here and interview him one day. I think he's doing the Lord's work, man. I mean, the only, to use his words, clear-eyed person on CNN is him. And I think it's true, man. When you have a strong leader, people they straighten up, man. They straighten up. When they know you ain't playing, they straighten up. It's just like parents and children. You got the parent that empty promises. They say, you do that again, I'm gonna whoop your butt. They never whoop them. I'm gonna put you in timeout. They never time out nowhere. If you do that, I'm not gonna buy you no more toys. They at Walmart right now buying toys. That parent don't get as much respect as the parent that say, when I say something, you know I mean it.